Cycle 2, Week 13, Spoon Bells and Singing Wine Glasses. We're using the Cornerstone lesson plans again. So this is 2 activities. The first one, you're going to have some various types of spoons where a string is already connected, and they will be pre-labeled A, B, C, and D, because I want, your students are going to be paired off, working in pairs. Each pair will have a spoon on a string. This lesson is all about talking about amplitude and frequency. So to kind of teach that concept, they are going to, in pairs, one of them will hold the spoon between their fingers like this, and basically they're putting their fingers in their ears. The string is not going in their ears, just their fingertips. Okay, so like my fingertips are going right here in my ears. And then their partner's gonna tap the spoon. Okay, and you can also, like I can bang it against the table and get the same effect. And what happens, you won't know this in the video, but what happens is I can actually hear a sound that travels through the string to my ear. And the various different types of spoons, I'll have bigger spoons, I'll have fatter spoons, smaller spoons. You know, the thickness and the size of the spoon is all going to affect the frequency and the amplitude of those spoons and the noise that you hear. So they can, like, kids can also tap louder or harder. They can tap softer, and that's going to affect the volume and the pitch and the frequency also. So there is a chart that the kids can fill out. We will talk at our tutor meeting about whether we want to do that or whether we want to just skip that. The chart on page 7 basically just goes through spoon A, spoon B, spoon C. Was it loud or quiet when we tapped soft or hard? Was the pitch high, medium, or low? So even if you choose not to fill out the chart, those are good things to talk through and ask your pairs of students to notice as they're tapping and hearing the sound. It's very cool. So you're talking about vibrations. It's the sound is energy waves that we can hear that are caused by vibrations. And frequency refers to whether the sound is low or high, and amplitude is about loud or soft. So those are the concepts that you're going to be over. There are some charts in your lesson plan that I will have laminated for you. So this is the amplitude chart. This is the frequency chart. Use them if you want to, if they add to your discussion, especially for the older kids. They might be able to understand a chart or a diagram like that, so feel free to use that. The second activity is very fun also. So I'm gonna have some various types of long stem glasses. We'll have already tested all of these to make sure that they're capable of producing sound, because some don't. Okay, and then you're gonna have 2 bowls, one with water in it and one with vinegar in it, okay? And you're gonna have each kid, I will not have 1 wine glass per kid, but I might have like 4 so that they can kind of take a turn every other turn. But we'll see. I'm gonna go to like Goodwill and see what I can find. So we'll see. Okay, so this was the vinegar over here. So the first thing they're gonna do is they're gonna dip their pointer and their thumb into some vinegar, and they're gonna rub their fingers together. So this removes all the oils that are on their fingers. Okay, and then they're gonna dip it in the water. Oops, and I forgot, the first step was to dip a paper towel in some vinegar and rub it on the rim of the glass. Okay, and so then I did the vinegar and the water. And so with their fingers still wet, holding on to the base, and I hold it like this, you can see. So nice and firm. Oh, that was fast. Oh, that happened really fast. See that? So I'm using the pad of my finger, not the tip. The pad. I'm keeping my finger pretty flat. And I'm going, sorry for the background. Hey guys! Hey guys! Hang on, I'm almost done. They're gonna be okay. So you go around, you can hear that noise. And depending on the size of the glass, the thickness of the glass or the crystal, it's gonna make different noises. You could also, it's really cool. If you put water in here, it's going to change the pitch and the frequency, or that's the same word, the frequency and the amplitude. So you could try some different experiments with that if you still have time. I mean, the kids are going to love this. They're going to think this is really cool. Some kids may have a tough time getting sound if they don't hold their fingers correctly. I recommend, you know, having them kind of flatten it and then just have one finger. My finger is nice and straight and pretty firm. And I'm not pushing down. And I'm not this is like barely touching, and this is pushing hard. That's different. So something right in the middle makes a lovely noise. The kids will think this is just so cool. And actually, when there's liquid in here, you can see the water vibrating. It'll go as you're going around. So I really do recommend adding water, even though your lesson plan doesn't tell you to do that. It will be really, really cool to try that out. And then there's a long discussion in the lesson plan that goes through, like, can you break, or why did that happen? That's good. But then it goes through, like, could you break a glass with vibrations? And it goes into kind of nitty gritty, in my opinion, of why that could happen. So I could see the older kids being interested in that, and younger kids that go right over their heads. So wouldn't worry too much about that discussion. At the very end, it mentions video. You can find videos online about people who can break wine glasses using just their voice. I'll probably try and find some of those and send them to the community because that sounds really cool and a good way to kind of tie up this week. But I think this will be a really fun week, a really interesting week. So have fun.